What is going on, Senpai Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're reviewing episode 72 of the Boruto anime, and I understand that this review is late. I apologise for that. I just wasn't really feeling up to recording yesterday, so I thought, you know, I'll just, rather than putting out a terrible review, I thought I'll just put it up the next day or whatever. But anyway, saying that, let's jump into this episode. So it started off kind of having a little bit of a flashback to just before the end of last episode, where these ninja, these Chunin that were on guard of the Leaf Village, which Bell just added, awful defense. Like, who puts two Chunin in charge of defending the village? Like, bro, that's wild. But basically, we saw last episode that they got attacked, and everyone was like, that lightning looks a lot like Mitsuki's, and I was saying, like, maybe it was a Rishiki, because we know he's got a bit of his powers. I did also say that I don't think it's him, it just kind of like teasing towards him. But we find out in this episode that it was actually Mitsuki that attacked these Chunin alongside these two funky looking people. I mean, they've kind of got like bandages around the neck. They're pretty cool villains. Personally, I don't think they'll amount to much, and now I see people saying, no. These guys are going to be big. These guys are going to be big villains. Like, this is going to be really important, and I'd love to be proved wrong. I really, really would love to be proved wrong. But these villains, you know, as cool as they might be, at the end of the day, they're still fodder villains, okay? I just want to put that out there. This arc, like, I see people saying it's going to include a Rishiki and all this, and it might do, and I would love it to. But me personally, I just can't see it. One thing I do love about these villains, however, whether it's done intentionally or not, I'm not too sure, but their powers are very reminiscent to a couple of Akatsuki members, them being Kakuzu and Deidara. Basically, one of them kind of has like this like mud sand creature. I think it was magnet release, which is very, very interesting because magnet release is not the most common jutsu release out there, so it's kind of interesting. I do want to get into that because there's a couple of theories going on with those funky looking guys. But like I said, he kind of has this magnet release puppet thing. It's got this like mask face thing. It looks a lot like Kakuzu's hearts. And the other guy had these kind of like butterflies which he sent out. They flew up to the enemy and bang, they exploded. Who does that sound a lot like? Bang, Deidara. That was a brilliant use of the word bang right there. So like I said, is it just a cool little throwback reference, or is it done on purpose with these characters made to have abilities reminiscent of the Katsuki for a certain reason? I mean, I'm not too sure. Basically, the theory going around, or I've seen what some people are talking about, which I'm a little bit not too sure what to think about, and that is that these people are actually working for, or even more, they're created by Orochimaru. Now, we saw in the Naruto Gaiden arc, Sarada's arc where she met Sasuke, blah blah, we had Shin Uchiha. He wanted to be this Akatsuki member, blah blah blah. You know, he was an Akatsuki fanboy. We know he was created by Orochimaru and blah blah, and he escapes and all of this. Is this going to be a similar kind of thing? I mean, this Mitsuki arc, I got a bit of a backlash for this because a couple of people didn't agree with me, but this Mitsuki arc kind of reminds me of the Naruto Gaiden arc with Sarada. Not obviously plot-wise in terms of like it's Mitsuki meeting up with his parent for the first time in ages. No, I don't mean like that. It's just it's an arc focused solely on him for his struggles and his mysteries, to answer his secrets and his questions, and he has to go on this adventure, blah blah. It reminds me a lot of the Naruto Gaiden arc, and it'd be even more so if these bad guys are created by Orochimaru. Like I said, Shin was created by him. He wanted to kind of revive the Akatsuki because he was a massive fanboy of them. These guys kind of like, they didn't have ninja headbands, I don't think so. I don't think they're ninja. They didn't look like rogue ninja. They still could be, I don't know. But they had these abilities reminiscent of past Akatsuki members, one of them has the magnet release, you know, I just want to say that I wouldn't be surprised if Orochimaru does have a role to play in this. And Orochimaru might have actually told them that you need to get Mitsuki on your side. That he might have sent them to go and get Mitsuki, like how Orochimaru sent the Sound 4 to go and get Sasuke, to kind of bring Sasuke. And maybe he's trying to... Maybe Orochimaru is doing something bad here. Personally, I don't think he is. I think he's more doing something for Mitsuki that in the long run is going to be important and good for him. But to do so, he has to go through some frowned upon, you know, looked down upon means to do it, if that makes sense. But anyway, Mitsuki goes missing. He goes off with these guys in his own will. We find out that, you know, he wasn't kidnapped, which is what some of the Jonin, like Konohamaru, etc., all thought. They all thought maybe he was kidnapped because basically these two Chunin were taken to the medical center because there was a little meeting going on in the Hokage's office, because Boruto and Sarada, they spent all day, all morning trying to find Mitsuki and they couldn't. And one important part is when Boruto said, let's go and look at his house and we'll see if he's there. And Sarada goes, yeah, okay, where is it? But put him on the spot. Boruto had no idea, and that's when Sarada actually points out, which was a good point, which I didn't think about too much before in the past, but Boruto doesn't really know much about Mitsuki, and considering Mitsuki is so fixated on Boruto, it is not returned whatsoever. Boruto does not return that favour. He obviously cares for Mitsuki, he likes Mitsuki, he's a friend of Mitsuki, but I think most importantly for him, Mitsuki is just a teammate. And Boruto kind of realises that, yeah, you know what, you're right, I've never really paid attention. And I love it because I feel like this arc, despite mainly being focused on obviously Mitsuki and Mitsuki finding out his purpose in life and his will and answering all these questions for him, I also think that this arc is clearly going to bring Team 7 together. Not just Boruto and Mitsuki closer together, but also Boruto and Sarada. And I'm hoping Sarada and Mitsuki's, I feel as though they could, you know, they could be brought closer together a little bit as well. But definitely Boruto and Mitsuki's relationship and Boruto and Sarada's relationship. Anyway, so they realise Mitsuki's gone missing. They try and tell Konohamaru. Konohamaru kind of acts like he has no idea what's going on. So then they realise that there's a meeting going on in the Hokage's office. So they kind of like sneak in. It's wild how two Genin can sneak into the Hokage's office when there's a terrorist attack, as I think Shikamaru might have put it. It's a bit wild, but hey, you know, worse stuff has been done. I mean, I remember this useless little kid, Genin, called Naruto, that stole a top secret forbidden jutsu scroll. So, you know what? It's nothing new, is it? So that's when Boruto and Sarada learn on the attack on the village, and bang, after 72 whole episodes, we finally got to see Tsunade again. Why did it take this long? I mean, it was great. Basically, Tsunade she comes back and says, well, someone asked her, I think it might have been Shikamaru or someone says, what made you come back to the village? And she was like, I heard that the leaf was under attack. Now, she was either talking about the two Chunin getting beaten up or the Momoshiki attack. I'm hoping it's the Momoshiki attack. Otherwise, like, why does she need to come back to the village because two Chunin have been hurt? When literally, probably only like a month before or whatever, like, the village was this close to being destroyed and Naruto killed. I mean, like, priorities mixed up? Maybe. That's when they all go to the medical center and Ino kind of looks into their memories and they realize that Mitsuki wasn't abducted, he wasn't under a genjutsu, he attacked them on his own will and went rogue by his own choice. And we see this really, really awesome shot of Mitsuki kind of like giving this smile, this evil smile to the Chunin he's just knocked out. Oh, it was great. I can't wait for this arc, and I do want to get into more like the length of this arc towards the end possibly, because got a couple questions going on there. But Tsunade's kind of had enough and she demands to know who the hell this Mitsuki guy is, because clearly she must have been out of the village for quite a while because she had no idea who Mitsuki even was. And this is when this was a huge thing. Naruto finally confesses to everyone that Mitsuki, you know, he's a pretty big secret. And while everyone is in the room, Shikamaru, I think Shikamaru might have known. I imagine he did, I can't remember. But Tsunade, the elders, can I just say, how on earth are the elders still alive? Like, seriously, how are they still alive? Like, I thought Onoki being alive was bad, but these, you know what? We'll just roll with it. I don't know how they're alive, but they are. They were surprised, Kanamaru was surprised, and Mitsuki were all surprised when Naruto revealed that Mitsuki was Orochimaru's son. Like, he didn't do it cryptically, like, oh yeah, Mitsuki, you know, I can't think of a cryptic message, you know, you can't put me on the spot like that. But he just blatantly comes out like, yep, Mitsuki is Orochimaru's son. I expected a bit of a different reaction from Konohamaru, who just was a bit like, oh, whoa. I thought, this kid is the son of the man that killed your granddad. Like, you'd think he'd have a bit of a reaction, a bit like Tsunade. Tsunade's reaction, I absolutely loved it. She went nuts. And you know what? If I speak, I'm in trouble, but she did kind of speak the truth to a certain extent, saying this man was on the top of the hit list of the Leaf Village for years and years. He posed such a threat. He tried to destroy the village. He killed the third Hokage. All of this, he abducted Sasuke. How can you let him have a son? You should have known the consequences and the circumstances of letting this guy have a son. What was you thinking? And then Naruto does kind of speak the truth back, saying, I trusted Mitsuki, I accepted him in. And then Shikamaru says that Orochimaru's research is very important in the battle versus the Otsutskis. Now, it's not huge, but it kind of is, because we all kind of just predicted that the Boruto story, the Otsutsuki clan are going to be a very relevant part of the story, probably the main villains, or definitely up there with the main villains. So it's obviously, we all kind of knew, it was never confirmed or anything like this, but we kind of knew that the Otsutskis would probably play the main threat and we'd be fighting them. But Shikamaru kind of like leaked the plot. He was like, oh, it'll be very, his research is huge in the battle versus the Otsutskis. And I'm like, what battle? It's not happened yet. Just saying. Just gonna point that out there. One other thing is that Boruto and Sarada also heard the whole conversation about Orochimaru and Mitsuki being his son, which is, we now have, I think, 4 different ways on how Boruto and Sarada found out who Mitsuki's parent was, or 3 different ways. We have the way in the movie, where at the end of the movie he just straight up told them. We have the way in the manga, where I think Sarada was opening like a pack of like ninja cards. She pulled Orochimaru and she was like, oh, Mitsuki, you seem to know a lot about this guy. And he's like, of course, he's my parent. And now we've got this way, which I think I kind of prefer this way over them all, purely because we also got to see the reaction of likes of Tsunade and Konohamaru, which is quite cool. If I'm missing any other iterations of Team 7 finding out who Mitsuki's parent is, then let me know, because we seem to have so many different ways. Because like I said, in the manga, they're meant to find out in the next arc, or what should be the next arc. At this point, I have no idea what the anime has planned. And that kind of brings me into what I wanted to talk about earlier, saying that I have no idea how long this arc is planned to go on for, because we know it's meant to be at least 5+ episodes. And, quote, it's meant to be a long arc. Now, literally, I'm predicting between 6 to 10 episodes. We've had 2 already. 1 if you don't count episode 71, but personally I do, because that's where it kind of all stemmed from. So we've got that. So we've got at least, 3 more episodes of this left. We know we're getting a new opening on October the 7th, I believe, which is in 4 weeks' time. I think we get a double episode on September the 20th and no episode on September the 27th. So we have 4 episodes leading up to there. That'll be 6 episodes long. Will the arc finish with the new opening? Because I'm not too sure. Because when I heard we'd get a new opening, I was like, finally, the next manga arc is coming. But if this Mitsuki arc keeps on going and keeps on going, then Is the manga arc looking likely? I don't really know. I want to know what you guys think of all that, along with your episode thoughts in the comment section down below. But the episode kind of just ended with Boruto and Sarada having an argument of sorts, and it was a very, very interesting, probably my favourite part, or definitely my second favourite part, maybe after the reveal of Orochimaru's son. I think this was my second favourite part because it was just seeing Boruto, and this is what I mean by bringing Boruto and Sarada's characters even closer, because those two together have had the spotlight on them so much, and their characters have bonded so much already, but it keeps on going. They keep on getting closer and closer together. And the part where Sarada said something about, and I'm paraphrasing here, you know, you can't let your personal feelings or emotions get in the way of like the life of a shinobi or your mission, something along those lines, because Boruto wanted to kind of go out and find Mitsuki, because basically Naruto said that anyone who leaves the village from now on will be labelled as a traitor, and Boruto's like, I'm going to find Mitsuki, and Sarada was trying to persuade him not to. I see a lot of people hating on Sarada for this, saying, oh, awful friend, terrible, like, sit down. If you do not like Sarada for being like this, you automatically are not allowed to like Kakashi. Put it out there, because Sarada, in this instance, was no different to young Kakashi. So if you don't like one, sorry, you're not allowed to like the other. But no, in all seriousness, when she said that, what she was actually doing was quoting Sasuke from way back in the Naruto Gaiden arc. Like I said, I can't remember the exact quote, but I think I should be putting try and find the pictures to put on screen now. This is what Sasuke told Sarada, saying, don't let your emotions get in the way of the mission, blah, blah, blah. And then it was quite cool to see Sarada take this on and try and relay that information to Boruto, only for Boruto to just reject straight away. And as we kind of all expected, the episode ended with them going to find Mitsuki, and it's all happy days. I mean, I kind of have an idea of what's going to go on in this arc, because I've read the manga, and this arc technically is filler because it's not in the manga, although it's rather apparent that, you know, it's not your ordinary type of filler. It's very, very canon. I would put it out there. A lot of people say, yeah, it's just filler though, isn't it? No, it's most definitely canon. Unfortunately, and I know a lot of people don't like it, even the Chocho arc was canon. I mean, we had the reveal of the butterfly mode in that. In Mitsuki's arc, we got the reveal that he's Orochimaru's son, all of this. So some of you might not like it, but it is canon. But guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button. Once again, I want to apologise that this review was late. I am very, very sorry. But guys, if you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe to become a member of the Temple. God, I've messed up my intro. I'm so bad at this intro, despite generally doing it for like 3 years now. I've had the same kind of outro for 3 years, and yet still I mess it up nearly every time. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. But until then, peace.